As we start 2025, I wish you all a happy new year. My wish is for every one of you to achieve all your goals and dreams. Thank you very much for the amazing support in the past 8 months, and I am sure the next year will bring us more success and growth. The topics I deal with are usually about serious stuff that impacts the lives of ordinary South Africans. But I'm now introducing a fun aspect to the podcast so that while we ponder the difficult things, we also lighten up a bit. Please watch to the end for our fun little feature that starts with this episode. And for today's episode, I look at the Gauteng High Court ruling that set aside the Joburg City Council decision to increase the number of bodyguards for the mayor and other leaders. In what world did Joburg councillors believe it was justified for the mayor to travel around with 10 bodyguards and 5 cars? Whose idea was it? And 8 protectors for the speaker? How? Maybe the councillors are genuinely concerned about the safety of the mayor. After all, crime in this place has reached really high levels. Or maybe the mayor needs extra loading capacity when he goes hunting for the water tanker. It is just as well that our legal system is functioning properly. Otherwise, hard-working and hard-pressed ratepayers would just have to grin and bear it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Talks Politics. I am your host, Joseph Musia. Let's get right into it. Some of the shenanigans that our politicians get up to are truly mind-boggling. It is not that one objects to a mayor of a major city being provided adequate protection. The problem arises when it appears the people concerned have lost touch with reality. South Africa's economic situation is quite dire. The levels of poverty and unemployment are astronomical. Government departments have been told to tighten their belts. Thousands of teachers' posts are in danger of being done away with. The security of our country is seriously compromised as our Air Force is not flying, our Navy is not at sea, and the Army can't deploy to the border. Patients sleep on the floor or are forced to share beds in hospitals. Thousands of Joburg residents are struggling to pay for municipal and other services. Some are being blacklisted because they are in arrears. And yet, the majority of the city's councillors, which include the ANC, the EFF, the PA and Al Jamaa, among others, saw nothing wrong with increasing the number of bodyguards for the mayor, the speaker, and mayoral committee members. Public representatives are elected to serve the people and to put their needs first. They are supposed to be concerned about the people they represent and try to make their conditions better. Moreover, the focus should be on what the residents and ratepayers need and want, not on their personal gains. We expect them to be ethical leaders and to do the right thing at all times. One of the most visible and frustrating challenges facing Johannesburg is the failure of service delivery. From power outages, water shortages, and waste management problems to a deteriorating road infrastructure, the city's residents are often left without basic services they need to live dignified lives. The water and electricity crises are particularly alarming. Johannesburg's water infrastructure is aging and insufficient to meet the needs of a growing population, often leading to bursts, shortages, and contamination. The city struggles with erratic power cuts, many of which have nothing to do with Eskom's problems, but have to do with local inefficiencies. Joburg's public transport system, especially the rail network, has faced decades of underinvestment, leading to a situation where buses and trains are unsafe and unreliable. Meanwhile, road infrastructure in many parts of the city is deteriorating due to poor maintenance. Potholes, clogged drains, and decaying bridges are a common sight across the city. The City Council has been under severe financial pressure for years, struggling with poor fiscal management and the siphoning of funds into corruption. A significant portion of the budget is consumed by wasteful expenditure, leaving little for long-term investments in infrastructure. Mismanagement, poor governance, and a failure to prioritize critical infrastructure have left Joburg residents struggling with these ongoing issues. Crime in Joburg is another persistent challenge. The city has earned an unfortunate reputation as one of the most dangerous places to live in the world. Armed robberies, muggings, car hijackings, and violent assaults are commonplace in many parts of the city. This environment of fear is compounded by a strained police force, inadequate resources, and a breakdown in law enforcement at both local and national levels. One of the biggest challenges facing Joburg is political instability and governance failure. The city of Johannesburg has experienced frequent changes in leadership, with mayors and councillors being dismissed or resigning under scandal or pressure. This political merry-go-round leads to a lack of continuity in policies and governance. Corruption, mismanagement, and competing political interests often leave the city's administration in chaos. The political instability in Johannesburg can be attributed to factionalism within the council and a lack of accountability among elected officials. And this is one of the examples. The city's leadership has been embroiled in numerous corruption scandals, some of which involve the misallocation of funds meant for essential services. Additionally, political infighting often takes precedence over long-term solutions, leaving residents to suffer. Without stable and capable leadership, the council's efforts to solve the city's issues are undermined by infighting and inefficiency. Their coalitions are in it for themselves, and the needs of the residents are relegated to the periphery. Normally, one would expect civil society organizations, including ratepayers associations, to be at the forefront against these excesses. After all, it is their money that is being misappropriated. In this case, however, it is only fair that I acknowledge the role of the opposition led by the DA, who made sure that this madness was stopped by going all the way to the High Court. If you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and press the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. As I said at the beginning, I'm introducing a new feature this week in the form of a light-hearted quiz. The question for this week is, what is the name of South Africa's once famous ambassador to the independent homeland of Bapeti Kosweti? The independent homeland of Bapeti Kosweti. The first person to get the answer right will get a mention in the next episode when I shall reveal the answer. See you in the next one.